I thank the gentleman for yielding me this time. Mr. Speaker, we in the San Joaquin Valley know that where food grows, water flows. That's just not a saying, that's the truth. It takes water to grow the food that we rely on to sustain ourselves. Luckily, this year we've been blessed with an abundance of rain and snow in the mountains, a record year. However, it's only because of the wettest year in California's historical record that the agricultural heartland of California, a place where half of our nation's fruits and vegetables are grown, is this year free from drought. Only 1 year ago, over 83% of California was in a moderate drought or worse. We know that the next drought is sure to come, threatening valley communities and valley families and farm communities. It's either feast or famine. We measure water on 10-year averages. And that's why we need solutions that solve this long-term challenge. I commend Congressman Valadao for continuing this effort. As I noted in a letter I wrote to him in February, though, I have concerns that this legislation, without some improvements, will fail to be that long-term solution that the Valley and our state so desperately needs. This solution must be, at the end of the day, multifaceted, must not pick winners and losers as California water policies in the past have so frequently done, to the detriment of both the agriculture economy, which we have felt, and California's ecosystems. Sadly, some of the provisions within this legislation, in my opinion, I think fail to meet this test. Language within Titles 1 and 3 would pose threats to the wetlands of Grasslands Ecological Area, the largest wetlands west of the Mississippi, a vital component of the Pacific Flyway, and an area that contributes nearly $73 million a year alone to Merced County, which I represent. Section 106 would drastically cut collections to the Central Valley Project Restoration Fund, which pays for refuge water and conveyance, that is very important, that would transfer oversight of the fund to other water users. It would also, I think, supersede state laws in some areas that, frankly, over the experience I've had in many years, will create more problems than it solves. In addition to these concerns, I know from having worked on water solutions for over 30 years, both here and in Sacramento, that the only path to legislative success is through bipartisan, bicameral action, as we experienced in December with the passage of the WIND Act, that, by the way, authorized four reservoirs that was contained in the WIND Act that Senator Feinstein and I and Republicans in the House worked on together in a very constructive way. So, as always, I stand ready to work with my colleagues in both the House and the Senate on a bipartisan basis to improve this legislation and get solutions to fix California's broken water system to the President's desk. I support moving this legislation forward to the Senate, but let's be clear, this is a work in progress, and much more work remains for this legislation, I think, to be successful. Thank you, and I yield back the balance of my time.